This is billionaire Leon Cooperman. This guy cries all the fucking time. He's a fucking crybaby. He's actually cried on TV about his fucking wealth. He's such a fucking baby. Billionaire who hates the wealth tax says there's no sympathy for billionaires and that the ultra wealthy are being attacked for no reason. For a few brief hours on Wednesday, it seemed like Democrats would propose a tax on billionaires. Democrats are still hammering out the details of what will be in a final social spending package, but the tax focused on billionaires looks like it's getting chopped. The architect of the tax, Senator Ron Wyden, the chair of the Senate Finance Committee, told insiders Joseph Zabayos Roig, I think I said that right, that this is not done, as he fights to keep it alive. But at least one person who would be affected by the proposal would be thrilled to see it on the cutting room floor. I think it's baloney, Leon Cooperman, the billionaire investor who's known for, among other things, his work at Goldman Sachs, told Insider on Wednesday. I don't think it's constitutional. It's not going to happen. Cooperman, whose net worth Forbes has estimated at $2.5 billion, has been a vocal opponent of the outright wealth tax continually proposed by Senator Elizabeth Warren. He and Warren have had a years-long back and forth over the topic. I believe in a progressive income tax structure and that rich people should pay and do pay more in taxes, Cooperman said. We, however, don't need new forms of taxation. Get rid of the loopholes. It's unbelievable. He added, they're attacking billionaires for no reason. Some loopholes that could be closed, according to Cooperman, eliminating carried interest, which taxes profits from private equity at the more preferential capital gains rate, and the 1031 exchange for real estate, which lets property sellers defer their capital gains taxes if they get a replacement property. Yeah, you know who that would hit, though? That would hit any fucking individual homeowner that chose to sell their house to get another house. What if they're downsizing their home? There should be a minimum tax. I agree with the 15% on corporations, Cooperman said, seemingly referring to Democrats' corporate minimum proposal. Where I disagree is a wealth tax. You're going to create unnatural actions by people. It can be a prescription to buy gold and things like that. He might actually be right about that. The billionaire's income tax floated by Wyden is not quite an outright wealth tax. It would tax the value that billionaires' assets like stocks accrue during the year. Normally, these assets are taxed only if they're sold, and people with massive holdings like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos aren't selling. That means the incomes that may come, that means that many of the ultra-wealthy live on, sometimes borrowed against those holdings. So they're living off the money borrowed from those holdings. And because it's borrowed money from the holdings, it remains untaxed. White House economists have found that when accounting for gains on assets as income, the 400 wealthiest families in America paid about 8.2% of their incomes in individual income taxes from 2010 to 2018. The billionaire tax proposal would treat those gains as income and tax them at the same rate as they would be when sold. This should be constitutionally safe. It's clearly an income tax, not a wealth tax, David Gamage, a law professor at Indiana University, told Insider. Constitutionality, an issue that Cooperman brought up, has been one issue floated around an outright wealth tax because it would tax net worth, while the 16th Amendment grants Congress the power to collect taxes on income. I think it's quite safe. Not 100% perfectly beyond challenge, but quite safe constitutionally, Gamage added. But even if it's constitutionally safe, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. The proposal didn't make it into the slimmed-down $1.75 trillion social spending package the White House unveiled on Thursday. That's good news for the country's 700 or so billionaires, though it may be a temporary reprieve if the policy returns in a new form. And Democrats are still proposing a surtax on Americans who earn at least $5 million. There's no sympathy for billionaires, Cooperman said, adding, but it makes no sense to me. Just raise the income tax, have a minimum tax, no problem with that. We don't need wealth taxes. And I got to show this video because every time I think about Leon Cooperman, I think about this scene.
The stock market's at a record high. The economy is growing. I mentioned a moment ago, 5 million more people at work created in his presidency. We have a record high employment, record low unemployment amongst minorities. I've taken the tough path of opening up trade dialogue with China. I focused the discussion on illegal immigration. Okay, I reduced government red tape and promoted deregulation. I bolstered our defense, national defense. His deportment is not presidential, and we need a unifier in that position, and because the country is being torn apart. So let him make his own decision. I am not in favor of this impeachment inquiry. I want the American people to decide in November of 2020 what the future should be.
I think, I think it's kind of obvious people can not only see the emotion on your face, but hear it in your voice when you talk about this, Lee. Why?
Look at him crying for the billionaires. He cares. He cares it. He's going to have to pay more taxes.
That's it.
Oh, shit. You guys aren't seeing it. My bad. Let me pull it back for you. You got to see him get emotional.
See the emotion on your face, but hear it in your voice when you talk about this, Lee. Why?
I care.
I care. I care about billionaires. A wealth tax would hurt me. I care. I care about my money.
But in all that you have said of where the economy is, where the stock market is, the wealth that has been created since the president was inaugurated through the
like
stock
literally
market
crying for the billionaires.
You still think it would be a better idea if he did not run for re-election at this particular time?
What I think I said, you're looking to get me into trouble. What I said was, if he was not prepared to change his dialogue.
Yeah, thank you for the tax cut, Daddy.
Okay. He can accomplish what is accomplished by being presidential. And the way I say it is the following, and you're really going to get me into a lot of hot water.
This is how you know he's full of shit, because look, he's not all emotional now. Like, what happened to the, I care.
President. When Reagan ran for president, he said, I'm going to get the government off the back of the people. I'm going to do that by reducing regulation and taxes. Ditto for President Trump. He said, I'm going to restore the lost prestige.
Picture the meme of Woody Harrelson wiping his tears with money. Yes. Yes.
Ditto for Trump. The third thing
this is pathetic. Put this dude in a manual labor role.
You couldn't balance the budget. You couldn't balance
the
budget.
Go shovel shit on a ranch.
And lowering taxes. So he said, to hell with the budget. We bankrupted the Soviet Union along the way. The difference is the comedian that made a living mimicking Ronald Reagan in his period of office was Joe Piscopo. Reagan picks up the phone and invites him to the White House for a drink. Okay? President Trump says, Alec Ball and Meryl Streep, you have no talent. Saturday Night Live, your ratings suck. It's not presidential.
You're just as bad as him, dude. You were just crying over your fucking money. You fucking weenie.
And by the way, I enjoy your talent. We need a unifier.
He does this all the time, though. Hold on. There's more. There's more of it. Is he going to cry on this one? I can't remember if he cries on this one, too.
It's good to have you here. Thanks for being on.
Nice to be with you.
Let me just get your broad perspective first of what you make.
You can always tell when he's going to cry because he does the same
you've been
thing.
Watching it unfold for these last couple of weeks.
Well, Rob referred to the casino environment, and I think he's on the right track. What's going on is no surprise.
No, he doesn't cry on this one. I only like the ones where he cries. It's funny. There's other ones out there too. Because I care. Wiping his fucking eyes with the money. And clown shoes. Aww. Poor guy. Aww.